what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're back here in the Raiti's Rides household because you know what? It's a non-stop steamroll from Toyota with redesigns. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and now the floodgate is open. So what are we here for this time? It's all about the big boy, the 2023 Toyota Sequoia. Lots of changes. Of course, I'm sure you can imagine many of those things coming from the totally redesigned Tundra, and that's not a bad thing. So let's go ahead, let's dive in and see what the new Sequoia is all about. And we're gonna start off with the TRD Pro. Obviously one of my personal favorites, and really that halo of each of the models in Toyota's lineup. As you can see, looking familiar, but definitely looking fresh. Now, if you're wondering, well, how many generations of Sequoia has there been? Believe it or not, we are now on only generation number 3. And that may not seem like a big deal, but the Sequoia has been around since 2000. Since Y2K, we've had a Toyota Sequoia. The second gen started in 2007. So do the math. It's been almost 15 years. 15 years since the last introduction of a new Sequoia, and boy oh boy, it's looking nice and fresh. Like I had mentioned, you're going to see a lot of similarities being brought over from the Tundra TRD Pro. We have those awesome 18-inch forged BBS wheels. I love the way they did the TRD Pro on the hood. I am going to zonk it though still, just like on the Tundra. I wish that they would make that functional. Why not make it a functional heat extractor? But I'm sure you're probably wondering, well, Joe, what else you getting? You're getting those specific tuned TRD Pro springs. The dampers, all 4 corners have been tuned specifically for this new Sequoia. And then when it comes to the front suspension, it's an updated independent front suspension with an all-new rack-mounted electronic power steering. That's going to give you a better feel as you're going on-road and off-road. I like the way they took the Sequoia name and spelled it out real nicely, cleanly, out on the backside. Of course, you're going to get LED headlights, LED taillights. You'll notice on the TRD Pro, of course, you're going to get some of that black trim. You're going to get the standard roof rack up there, which looks great. And the proportions really fit it well. I think another part that I'm really liking, especially from the back angle there, is how they did the rear fenders. Very similar to the Tundra, but has such a nice flavor to it. And remember, this is going up against vehicles like the Chevy Tahoe, the Yukon, the GMC Yukon, and many other competitors in that full-size SUV class. Of course, it's 3-row, so we're bringing that 3-row. You can see on the bottom bumper area, it's going to be that LED lighting. On the interior, you're going to get those TRD Pro specific touches. The shifter, the steering wheel, the seats, the red stitching, the red trim. All of the technology from the Tundra is being brought over to the Sequoia. I love the seats. Those seats with the camouflage setup going on there. I'm curious, are they going to have the red camo interior? I really like that on the Tundra, but you're getting that 14-inch infotainment system all updated. You got the heritage badging with the red behind it. Heated seats, ventilated seats. These are all first-time things on a Sequoia, if you could believe that or not. You can see how, just like on the Tundra, you're going to have your multi-different modes. You'll have the ability to go into your different 4x4 system setups. You got the aluminum pedals, brake pedal, and throttle. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, is it only about the TRD Pro? No, of course. Even though you're looking at those gorgeous seats, you can see the controls in the back portion of the AC. And what I'll do is I'll leave. I did a review of a 2022 TRD Pro. We were the first to get one of those that were just released. I will link it at the end of this review so you could really see what a 2022 Sequoia looks like compared to this 2023, and they're both going to be TRD Pros. So that's the nice different comparison you could do. But if you're saying to yourself, like I was saying, if you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I don't want a TRD Pro. Are there other trims? Yes, you're going to have your 5 different grades of your Sequoia. Of course, it all starts with that SR5. Then you got the Limited. Then you got the Platinum. Then you got the TRD Pro, and there's an all-new Capstone Edition, just like on the Tundra for 2023. You'll notice here, we're looking at the Limited. You can see the differences in the trim. You're still getting the same great LED lighting. And if you're wondering, Joe, what about wheels? So standard wheel is going to be obviously 18-inch. Of course, on the TRD Pro, those are forged BBS 18-inch wheels. But then they could step up to 20. Or you could go Capstone has 22-inch wheels. When it comes to power, I know we're all like, what's gonna power it? No more V8. So get your tissues out, dry those eyes. I know, trust me, I enjoy driving that 2022 Sequoia with the V8. Watch the review if you have not. Like I said, it's at the end of this one. But I have to admit, this twin turbo V6, so it's got that iForce Max standard. So there's no iForce separate. It's iForce Max. What that means is standard on the Sequoias, you're getting that 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 with the hybrid setup. What does that give you? That gives you 437 horsepower. So you're getting more horsepower, 583 pound-feet of torque, more torque than the V8, and then it's going to be mated to that 10-speed automatic. You can now tow up to 9,000 pounds with your Sequoia. You got that beautiful 14-inch infotainment system. Of course, depending on how you option it, you're going to have wireless charging, you're going to have heated seats, ventilated seats, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. What I love about that system is being able to set up each specific driver in your household. God bless you if you have teenage drivers in your household and they do have a license, but the nice thing is that each driver can have their own little setup on it so that when you go in, it automatically puts in your channels, takes stuff, music media off your phone, puts it right into the system, the seating. You're going to get standard, that 12.3-inch digital display. It's clear, it's simple, it's concise. That's all it needs to be. I love the way they're doing panoramic size sunroof. Would be nice on this thing. You can see how the seats fold. There's an actual cargo shelf system in the back that's going to be great when you're going on those family trips, when you're doing the Costco runs, or when you are taking all of the kids in the neighborhood to football practice. Looks really great driving right into this driveway here. But what are some of the other things we're talking about? We've got that load leveling system with the rear height. That's an air control system, load leveling for when you're towing, when you got heavy things in the back. That's going to be included in this Sequoia, just like on the Tundra. What you're staring at there now, that's Capstone. So if you wonder what's this Capstone going to be all about, that is the ultra luxury trim. So if you're thinking, well, what does that compare to? Think about Yukon Denali. That is going to be that full luxury, full-size, 3-row SUV. I love the way they did those beautiful hand-polished 22-inch wheels. The trim on the bottom looks tasteful without being too gaudy. And even the way they did the grille, a lot of color match all the way around it. But then you got that very tasteful grille, a little bit of chrome on the back. It's not as bling-blingy as a GMC Yukon Denali, and I like that. Now remember, with the headlights, you got LED, tasteful on the grille, fully functional. My only question is what is pricing going to be? Because that, I'm sure, is something you are thinking about as well. I'm thinking prices are going to be pretty close to what you're going to find on a Tundra plus some. So we'll have to wait and see. But other options, of course, that you're going to get like standard on the Capstone trim is going to be that JBL 14-speaker sound system. Comes up a little short against some of the competition. You look at Lexus, for example, in the LX 600 that we reviewed here on Raity's Rides, you're looking at 25 speakers or so. So, 14 speakers is nothing to laugh at, but 25 is definitely better. You'll notice that when you open up the doors on the Capstone trim, you get those wonderful electronic dropping running boards, so the shorter people in your family can get on into the rear. I guess another thing that I'm thinking about is, what is that third row going to feel like? If you're bigger, say 6 foot tall like myself, are your knees going to be in your mouth, or are you going to feel a little bit more comfortable? Because remember, with that new independent rear suspension in the Yukon Denali, there's no knees in your mouth. You could sit comfortably and just fine. Now on the interior of the Capstone always gets that two-tone trim. So the black with that off-white, full leather, classy as heck. And I'm telling you, the way they integrated the infotainment system looks fantastic. You got a great multifunctional center console lid. And then you got the other fine touches, like I said, like the silver on the steering wheel. And having the ability of having the different trims, I think is going to be really nice. Another question I have, which I'm not seeing in any of this footage, is there going to be the availability of any rear seat entertainment? Think about General Motors. They're doing one heck of a job with their technology in the back seats. Think about even some of the other brands like Kia with the Telluride. You could get monitors in the back. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with this monitor system. You even think Jeep Grand Wagoneer, 70 inches of screen in their vehicle. And all I'm seeing so far is the 12.3 and the 14. You'll see at the back, you got that hands-free. You got your hands full of all those groceries. Hands-free little system. Open it up. You can see how that rear seat shelf system is. You get the rear seat down, gives you a nice shelf. I guess another big question that's on many of your minds is, what about Twinkie storage? That's something that I've been thinking about ever since I got this information from Toyota. And I've been sitting on it for a few days and had some sleepless nights of where we're going to put the Twinkies. But we'll find out here on Raity's Rides. I promise you that. We got that beautiful shot underneath the hood, the iForce Max. Whenever you hear iForce Max now, automatically think hybrid technology. And there she is, rolling out of that driveway of that nice mansion. That's definitely a nice mansion house. I don't know if it comes with the Capstone, but definitely Capstone's looking pretty good grill-wise from the front. I think they did a good job balancing the chrome. Let me know what you think about what would be the trim that you go with. We're going to have to wait and see about SR5 and Platinum, but definitely limited. TRD Pro and this Capstone trim are bringing it in a big way. So we wanted to bring it to you first here on Raity's Rides. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is the best full-size SUV that you would want to park in your driveway like this person has in their mansion? Or are you going to go with one of the other brands? Put it in that comment section. I'm dying to find out what way you would go. Of course, we're going to be getting these things, my hands on that vehicle very soon. So stay tuned for that. And if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on this channel, click that link in the description. Get yourself some Raity's Rides merch. I don't know if that's a way of highlighting what to get. Got to give it up to Lori. You know what? She knows how to work a camera. She knows how to get it done. And she doesn't give up until it's done right. So thank you, Lori, for your hard work and awesome direction. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.